Bill O'Reilly's with us tonight, host of the No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com. You can find his content online, YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. It is good to see you, my friend. As always, we both agree, stipulated, that socialism has failed in every form, every time it has been tried. Can we also agree that Republicans, America, has a problem right now that so many people are now finding it appealing?
Well, the problem didn't generate or start with the Republicans, as everybody knows. So it got into hyperinflation for the essentials of life under the previous administration. And now Donald Trump is trying to change the economy to provide more and higher paying jobs. And he did that the first time around, but now he's on steroids doing it. That's what this tariff stuff's all about. It's going to bring all the industry back from abroad, create the manufacturing here, which will then give working class, middle class people more job opportunities, and then the wages will rise because there'll be competition for labor. That's Trump's vision. On paper, it's a good vision, but it's a matter of patience. So today is Barack Obama's birthday, all right? And there isn't a greater success story in the history of this country than Barry Obama, whose father split, whose mother was a hippie and not there and raised by grandparents with no advantages, and rises up to go to Harvard Law, to become a senator and then the president for 2 terms. No other country could do that. No other country on the planet. So the American dream, if you want to use a cliche, still exists. The pathway to success still exists. But so many people are afraid, and this is the key to socialism. The people who would vote for Mamdani have basically said, I don't like the system. I don't want to compete. I don't want to sacrifice. I want what I want now. Give me, give me, give me. Mm-hmm. That's what socialism is. We will take care of you. The government will take care of you. All you got to do is go to Havana and see how that's worked out since 1959. I was over in Cuba a few years ago. It's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is insane. Go to China. I was there in May. Okay? So if you want to have less than you have now, whatever your circumstance, yeah, vote for Mamdani. They're going to give you less. Because, as Margaret Thatcher once said, at some point you run out of other people's money. We live in a capitalist system. Yep. You got to compete, got to get educated, you got to work hard. If you do, you will succeed.
Okay, and there's a lot of the progressive left. Mamdani's big base of support is people who are earning low 6 figures, who drink $12 lattes, are angry they can't buy a house. Yeah. And who got, you know, have $200,000 in student debt and degrees in comparative literature. That economically doesn't work. Karl Rove, because I know I'm going to trigger you with this, issued a warning similar to what I said. Take a listen.
The Trump administration is making the same mistake that the Biden administration made, which was to basically, you know, remember we had Bidenomics is working. Right. Well, now we have the golden age of American prosperity has returned, and Americans are not feeling that. Better to say we're working hard to put America on the right road rather than declaring premature victory.
All right. Trump is going on Squawk Box on CNBC tomorrow at 8 a.m. Would he be advised to follow Rove's advice?
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to basically paint a realistic picture for the American people. Most of us are not stupid.
Don't you have to feel their pain?
I don't know if he can do that. Trump is a silver spooner. Yeah. I mean, come on. You know, I don't want a phony guy out there. I just outlined what his economic vision is. We'll know by December whether it's working or not, but you got to give it a little time. Mm-hmm. But Rove is correct that if Americans, working Americans, aren't feeling that they are in danger economically, the Democrats will win. the midterms, and that'll be the end of Donald Trump's administration. So this is the biggest issue for the Trumps. This is it.
This is it. There is this issue of how people feel about the rich in America, and I can't figure it out, because when I was growing up, people celebrated Sam Walton, they celebrated Warren Buffett. These were great American success stories. And now, attacking the billionaires and attacking the people who've lived the American dream. You think about Jeff Bezos and what he did and how he started his company and what his parents sacrificed. That's proof of America. Yet you listen to Elizabeth Warren today, and she's got a real following with this grievance culture, I guess you call it. Take a listen.
Raising taxes in order to do it?
Oh,
why is that
goodness.
the answer?
Oh, dear. Are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry?
No, I'm worried that they're going to leave and spend their money elsewhere.
You know, they've threatened to do that over and over and over.
And they have. They've left.
But here's the thing.
And Goldman Sachs, when they create new jobs, they do it in Dallas. And Blackstone won't build a new headquarters. They go on and on.
How did tearing down the success of America become sort of so popular?
First of all, Senator Warren is a nitwit. I'm sorry. I don't usually do that, but my God, if Mamdani gets elected in mayor of New York City, she doesn't think wealthy people and corporations are going to leave? You're a nitwit, madam. I mean, that's all I can say. There's no other word to describe you. Now, you ask a good question about the Bezoses of the world. From all reports, Jeff Bezos spent $50 million on his recent wedding. Okay, so hello, Marie Antoinette and Louis XIV, and Americans are watching that. You think that's a good look? It's not. Okay, and too many of these people do it. Now, I don't begrudge them their wealth, as Warren and Bernie Sanders and Mamdani do. I don't. Because this is just like what happened at the turn of the 20th century, when America got into industry and huge money was made by the J.P. Morgans, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, because of the transition into a brand new economy, and they were ahead of it. Same thing happening now with the high tech for the last 25, 30 years. The people who were ahead of that just reaped untold fortunes. That's good for them. I'm not jealous of them. But if you're strutting around, all right, spending, billions of dollars on yourself with mega yachts and all this, I don't know too many people who really like that, Leland. You know, there's a little bit of appropriateness here. Americans admire success. We always have, we always will. But don't throw it in our face.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Does that make sense?
Good. Yeah, no, it does. And your connection back to the Gilded Age, which we will cover, and you cover in Confronting Evil, is an important parallel. I want to move you to this. You called this the hottest story out there today. Ex-Obama officials face federal grand jury probe into whether they promoted false Russia ties. The major legal development opens the door to criminal charges against prominent cabinet members who served then-President Barack Obama, including former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former CIA Director John Brennan, former FBI Director James Comey. This is that they promoted the Trump-Russia collusion story, knowing that it was false. Here is President Trump on that.
No, I think they should pay a price.
How directly?
By the way, it's a very big price. It could be the biggest scandal in the history of our country.
Is this grand jury, is trying to go back and relitigate this, is potentially putting Obama-era people in jail a good thing for the country?
Yeah. Yeah. If these people tried to derail an election, tried to hurt a sitting president by bogus, phony, false conspiracies, because that's what
Isn't
it
that
was.
called politics?
Using them to get... Okay, Leland, is it called politics? Get a phony FISA warrant to spy on you and your family? Would you call that politics? I don't think so. That's a crime.
I'm not running for president.
So let's run it down. I'm way ahead on this story, Leland. You're lucky to have me. I'm way ahead. You should throw another face on that montage, and that's Hillary Clinton. Because Hillary Clinton's campaign began this. Now, Hillary Clinton is going to say through her lawyer, look, I didn't know anything about it. It was all my surrogates, it was all my lesser people who did it. I didn't know. I don't know this, that, and the other thing. But she's going to be investigated on that. And if people start to flip underneath Hillary Clinton and those who worked in her campaign and say, no, she was in a meeting on this date, she told us all to do this, Hillary Clinton's in big trouble, okay? Clapper, I don't know about, okay? But Brennan, the allegation, which is solid, listen to me, solid, is that Brennan told the FBI that he did not want to use any of this Russian collusion stuff in the analysis of what Putin was doing or not doing. However, the emails that the Justice Department have directly contradict that. So it is very possible, and we give due process to everyone, of course, that Brennan lied to FBI agents. That's a 5-year stretch. Comey took the phony stuff, brought it to federal judges, purporting that it was real, and got his FISA warrants. McCabe, his second, was in on it too. Again, you're going to have to get an FBI whistleblower to come forth and say, these guys knew it was phony, or at least they were told at very high levels, and they did it anyway. This is a big story. It all hinges on whether Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, has skilled investigators, or whether she's doing it for political reasons. Because you're doing it for political reasons, you're not going to get it. But if you have skilled investigators who go in and surgically take this apart, the people that I mentioned have a lot of trouble.
You really
Not
think
Barack
she's capable of that?
I don't know. I don't know whether she's capable or not. I don't know whether Patel is capable at the FBI. How would I know? How would I know? All right, they just took over. But I'll tell you what, they better have some pretty good investigators to make the case. But Barack Obama's in no jeopardy whatsoever.
And you don't worry, right, because of the immunity clause, yeah. You don't worry at all, and I will give you the last 30 seconds here. You don't worry at all that this exact same kind of tactics that were used against President Trump last time around by the Biden administration, same kind of idea of what's good for the country versus what you can prove, is going to just be done again. And now we're going to go back and forth like every other country in the world does of imprisoning members of the past administration because you don't like what somebody did.
I don't want anybody imprisoned. I mean, I'm saying
you were talking about a 5-year stretch.
I want to know what happened.
You were saying a 5-year stretch.
I'm just reading off the books, Leland.
Okay.
I'm just reading off the books, man. I didn't convict anybody. I said due process has to be applied, okay?
All right.
I'm not in this for vengeance. I'm in this for prevention. And if you step back and you look at this Russian collusion thing and how corrupt it was and how the mainstream media bought it and sold it and pushed it, this has got to stop. Because if you don't expose it, it's going to happen again, okay? So all these people, if they did it, should be absolutely humiliated and then shunned to some island somewhere where we don't see them anymore.
We'll figure out where the island is next week. Bill, it is good to see you, my friend. As always, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.